Hi there. It was nice to meet everyone on the first day of class, and I know there was a lot that I talked about, and it was probably overwhelming. So what I wanted to do is go over all the important things you need to know about the course and the running of the course. So here we are. When you first sign in, this is what you're going to see. There's always going to be some sort of announcement here if I have something to tell you, if I'm making a change to the homework or updating information or anything like that. This is where you want to read what I have to say. The other important thing about the first page of this class is right here, this blue bar. This is how you get to My Labs Plus. I'll refer to it as My Labs Plus or My MATLab Plus. Um, Basically the same product as far as you're concerned, and that's how you're going to get to all of your online homework. The online homework is going to consist of class prep, and actually there are going to be two parts to class prep, and also your practice problems. You're also going to, nope, the ACE assignments you're going to find here in your D2L shell. So let's see, let's go through here and show you what else we're going to do. We're not going to be using the discussions or the Dropbox or the quizzes or the surveys, but we are going to be using the content. This is your main go-to button on this first page. So let's click on content, and first thing you're going to see is the course information. So the most important thing you're going to do first, read through the syllabus. It tells you everything you really need to know, how the grading is going to be done, and just as a hint, there's going to be a syllabus quiz on day 2 of class. So please read that, be familiar with it. Then there are 2 assignments right away that you're going to be handing in next class. The student profile and contract. You don't really need to print this off because I've given you a copy as long as you're in class. And what you want to do is make sure you give me the information on the front side, the profile, and on the back I've asked you some questions. That's our contract. So initial each of those items. If you are unsure of the answer to any of those items, make sure you ask, because it is necessary that you understand all of the items that I've mentioned there in our contract. And at the bottom, you're going to sign it and turn that into me. The Math Lab is what's going to be available to you for tutoring, so to speak. It's not one-on-one necessarily. It's in the class. It's in a class format in the computer lab. We've got 2 math labs. This one here that's listed is over in Building C in the Student Success Center. And these are the hours, Monday through Thursday, and the times and the instructors that are going to be covering. They're also um, helpers in there that will help you as well, in addition to the instructor. The developmental math lab is in the A building, and it has limited hours, unfortunately, but this is geared towards the information that we cover in Math 050 and 055. So you might want to use this one when it's available, but you can use either one. Your assignment is going to be to go to one of those math labs, one of those times by next class period, or I'll give you up to a week to get there, and just see what it's like. Use the computers, use the help of the instructor, whatever you need in there, and get it signed by the instructor that's in there. So those are your 2 assignments that are right there. So after the first week, the rest of your information is going to be here under course materials. We're starting with chapter 5. So you can click on chapter 5, or this actually gives you all the materials for the whole semester. But we're going to concentrate right now on chapter 5 since that's where we started. So what I went over with on day 1 is the mini lecture. I'm going to be using the PowerPoint as a basis for that, and the mini lecture is available to you as a PDF, which I highly recommend you print off. It looks like this, and you can download it and print it off and use it to take notes. So you're not scrambling along to write everything down. It's got the basis for where you can put your notes. Excuse me. And I highly recommend you do that. So on your pacing schedule, your schedule within the syllabus is going to tell you when you need to print off which section. And that reminds me, I didn't go back over the syllabus, which has your schedule of what we're covering every day. So let's open that and take a quick look. And after you read all the material, we have the class schedule on the last few pages. So let me just page down there. You can download the syllabus. You don't need to print the whole thing, but you really should print this part of the syllabus, which includes all of the assignment and what's due. Now, every now and then I'll say, oops, add something else to what's due on a particular day. So if you have it handy and in your binder that you bring to class every class, you can then add that to what's due and you won't forget anything. So the student profile, and I have the math lab visit actually due on the third class, but depending on when you hold your classes, when you get to the math lab, you can turn it in on day 2 or day 3. Let's see. So what it's going to look like in general, and let me go to day 3 because that's going to be kind of a more normal place of what's going to be due. We're always going to have class prep, and those are going to be sheets that I'll show you in the course materials area of the sections that we're going to be covering in class. And class prep has 2 parts. There's the written part, and then there's the part in My Math Lab or My Labs Plus. You'll have to have both of those done by that class. Practice problems are going to cover practice on the problems or the subject that we covered the class before. So on day 2, we're going to cover 5.2 and 5.3. You're going to be turning in practice problems from 5.1. ACE. I'll show you where the ACE assignments are. And I'm asking you to print the mini lecture, the PDF file. And that's optional. You don't have to, but I highly recommend that. Class worksheet, that's also optional. And sometimes we'll be doing that in class. Sometimes we'll be doing an activity. So make sure you have that. That's going to be completed and done by the following class as well, even though I don't have that listed as an assignment that's due, because that's our classwork. Let's go back. Print off the class schedule. Okay, back to course materials, and since we started with chapter 5, I'm going to click on chapter 5. Now right here, we're going to go through all the sections and mini lecture in PDF form, mini lecture in PowerPoint form. This is the worksheet I was just mentioning, and I will have the answers available for you, but not until class has already started. So if you look at it, you can look over the problems and you can look at them, but I don't want you to really do them before class. But those answers will be available to you. If you bring a laptop to class, you can look at them and use them there, or you can print them off to work on after class. For the first couple of weeks, I've been specific about the directions for the homework. So I tell you everything that you need to do. You might want to print this off because it's going to be pretty much the same every class. Go to the Contents tab, click on the Course Materials, Chapter 5, in the section that we're working on, and print off the outline. Click into My Math Lab Plus, which is that box on the upper right-hand side of that first page, and go to your class prep and practice problems that you need to do for that class. Watch the videos in My Labs Plus that go along with the assignments and filling out the outline that you're going to be doing for the class prep. Complete the other problems listed in My Labs Plus assignment and bring your completed outline that you're going to be turning in the following class. Let's see. So that's the class prep. The practice problems also is in My Math Lab. Complete all the problems there. You have as many tries as you like to get a perfect score. The better you do, the better you understand the topic, the better you're going to do on the test. There is a due date of 5 p.m., which is the class start time, and you must have it done by that class time on the day that it's due. ACE, go to the content in the tab in D2L, Course Material, Chapter 5. Using the textbook or you can use the e-text that goes along with MyLabs Plus. Complete the problems that are listed under that section, and that's going to be turned in as well. So let's go back and find the ACE assignments. Okay, the ACE assignments are going to be listed for the entire chapter, so not just 5.1, 5.2. What you should do is click on Chapter 5 Applications, and here are all the assignments for all the sections. So these are from your textbook, and just print this off at the beginning of each chapter, and you'll have the whole list, and you'll know which problems to do and which problems to turn in. What I'm going to ask you to do is, when you do them, make sure that you check on the answers. These are all odd-numbered problems. So check on the answers in the back of your book and make sure you have the right answer. And if you don't, work through it again or ask for some help. You always have the opportunity to ask for help before you turn in your work. And that's where the ACE, application and concept extension exercises, are located. So print that off too. Let's see, I told you about where all the content is, where the directions are again, what you need to print out, and where you need to do your work, either what you're going to be turning in or what you're going to be doing in MyMathLab. Now, the very first time you click on MyMathLab, it's going to ask for an access code. That's the code that comes with your book, and if you didn't get a book yet, it gives you a grace period. So you can just click on it and say, I don't know exactly what it says, but let me use MyMathLab until I get a code. Or you can purchase the code directly through MyMathLab and Pearson and do it that way. If you have any questions, I know there's a lot of stuff here. Please ask. There's going to be a lot of work to do in this class, and you have to do it all in order to be successful in the class. Trust me. If you start skipping homework assignments and you don't do the work, it's going to make it hard to pass. And my goal is to help all of you get through this class so that you can move on to your transferable level math class. Let me know how I can help, and if you have any questions, you can call me at this number or email me at this address. You can also use internal messaging, which is up here, and you will have a link to your student email. If you're using this email address, use your student email. This internal messaging will not work with my email address, but your student email that's up here will, and if I contact you, it will probably be through your student email, so make sure you check on that too. You also might have important information from the college. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you soon.